Hey guys, and welcome to today's live stream. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to try and get comfortable here because I can't even see the screen properly. So thank you so much for everyone. We'll just wait till the room fills up a little bit, but thank you for joining this week's live stream. Again, sorry about this ratchet camera. This little area in the corner is just because my phone's broken. I'm watching this on my phone. All my fault. I keep saying I'll mend it, but I never get around to it. It's lockdown here in the UK. That's my excuse. That's my excuse. Hey guys for joining. Thank you for joining. We're filling up nicely. So, how is everyone's week gone? KR, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Lovely to see you. How's everyone's week gone? DM, fantastic to see you, my love. Thank you so much for waiting. I love that. Now I've kind of got into a routine where it's every Saturday, 6 p.m. It kind of makes it so much easier because, people know when to join and, we used to switch it around a lot more, but now always on a Saturday, always 6 p.m. UK time. So thank you so much for joining, guys. Hello, Chris. I'm fantastic. Thank you very much, Chris. How are you, my love? How are you? I'm just going to move, I'm just going to move some junk while the room's filling up. I've got so much skincare just on my work surface here. Oh, by the way, this is the Daily Serum Trial Kit by iUnique. I've been trying this on and off for like 2 months. I'm finally giving it a full go and I actually quite like it. And I've got my bag full of old rubbish here, so we'll get rid of that. And now we're good to go. Davia, welcome. Hilpree, good morning, Rob. Morning, where are you? It is dark here. Here in the UK, it is dark. It is raining. I'm not going to stand up because there's no decency in the world. I've got shirt on the upper half. I've got my pajama bottoms on below because I've just taken the dog for a walk and got so wet, like dripping wet. So I've got pajama bottoms on and I've got a shirt on. So, we're styling that out. Natalie, welcome, my love. Jacqueline, good morning. Thank you. Radiant, I'll take that. I don't feel radiant. I feel very wet, but I'll take radiant. Jenny, hello, my love. Happy Saturday. I hope you, daughter, hubby, dog, all good in the world. Diana, welcome. Tegs, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Annika, great to see you. Lots of love to Sweden. Jem from 89, hey. Seri, hey. Daphne, lovely to see you again, my love. I hope all is well with you. I love these lives because I keep seeing the same names every week, which is great. We've created a gorgeous little community here, so thank you. When I first decided to do them, I was so nervous. I was like, I'll never, ever have the confidence to do this. And then it turns out I like to talk, and it kind of works. Quirky Beauty, welcome, my love. Thank you so much. Tom says, how's our favourite skin influencer today? I don't know, Tom. You'll have to find him and ask him. I'm fine. Thank you so much. You're very kind. Oh, you'll make me blush. How are you, Tom? Hope all is amazing with you. Let's have a look. Hillpree says, weird week. Big windstorm that blew down fence. Yeah. So here in the UK, it is so windy. Like, unbelievably windy, and we've gone from actually being really nice. When lockdown first started like a week ago, the weather gods shone down on us. It was really nice weather, and now it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy. I've got a dog that still wants to go for his walk even in the rain. I'm looking at you. Yeah, he's here with me looking very wet. I'm very sorry for himself. I'm looking at you, dog. And also the smell. It's great that you haven't got smell-o-vision because the smell of wet dog is real. Absolutely real right now. Not great. Gal, hello, my love. Welcome. Jem from 89 says, Rob, how are you? I am wonderful. I'm absolutely wonderful. It's been a really good week. Like, I feel like Christmas is kind of coming. I know in the US you get Thanksgiving over with and then you do Christmas, but it feels to me like, we're getting there. It's here in the UK, we're in lockdown again, which is super difficult for so many people, but we're a week down. We've got 3 weeks to go. I feel like we're getting there. I'm sending lots and lots of love to anyone in the US because I've seen from the news everything's getting a little bit dicey, particularly in some areas with the old pandemics. I'm really sorry if you're going into any lockdowns or anything there. But here in the UK, hopefully, touch wood, things are getting okay. Emma says, hey from the Netherlands. Hello, sending lots of love to the Netherlands and anyone else in Europe. So what to do 29 says, thanks for all your advice. It's a pleasure. Do you have any azelaic acid recommendations that are fragrance free? Yes, I've got loads. I can run down them. I love azelaic acid. So you're asking the right person. I love azelaic acid. So my top recommendations, I'm using 2 at the moment. I'm using the Face Theory As a Clear Serum 15%, which is a little bit on the, it's not really pricey. I think it's £16 here in the UK. So it's not dirt cheap, but it's well formulated. So you've got 15% azelaic acid oat in there, which is gorgeous and calming and fragrance free. I'm also using the Geek and Gorgeous as a pad, I think it's called, serum 20%. It's not quite 20% azelaic acid because it's a derivative, so it works out at about 10%. And if you're wanting a more serum lightweight, go for the Geek and Gorgeous. If you're wanting something more hydrating and creamy, go for the Face Theory. Let's have a look. Lynn says, I love your videos. Thank you, Lynn. Sending lots and lots of love. Anastasia says, hi, I was just watching your video and here you are. Oh, well, don't let me stop watching the other video, my love. You carry on. Carry on. But welcome and thank you so much for joining. Yeah, today's video has gone mad. I just did it as a bit of a shout out to some of the people. We're coming up to a year. I can't believe this. We're coming up to a year on this channel, and I just wanted to do a shout out to all of the influencers and skincare guys on YouTube, which have just like provided me with so much support. So it's kind of just a bit of a fangirl love fest moment. But yeah, so if you haven't checked it out after this live, go check that out. Tomorrow's video, we are talking about exfoliation, and we're going to be talking a little bit about some customer service as well, because I've got some stories and some bits to share around some really shady customer service to do with skincare and skincare companies. And I think, 2021, we should start walking with our wallets, and if customer service is in the bin, they shouldn't get our money. So we're going to come on to that tomorrow. Patty says, hey Rob, I've been checking out Adam's channel today. Patty, sending lots of love, my love. Hope you and the family are all well. I love Adam. He's such a great guy. And I am a little bit biased because he is Northern and English, and that's kind of where I'm from. So I'm a little bit biased, but he's a really great character and such great information. And I kind of, yeah, I love his channel. So I hope you do too, Patty. Teresa says, hello from Memphis, Tennessee. Hello. Sending lots of love to the US. Nicole says, hello from Toronto. We have a great, as I said, this is why I'm always so behind with the comments, because I always go off on a tangent. But as a tangent, so many guys tune in from Canada. I absolutely love Canada. Been skiing in Whistler. That was my unfortunately today, only experience in Canada, and I'd love to go back. But so many of you guys, I think I looked at the stats, and 15% of the views of this channel come from Canada, which is baffling when you think of like the size of Canada versus some other countries. So that's just, I have a newfound love, even more so than before, to Canada. So sending lots of love to any of the Canadian contingent. Annika says, I'm watching a Christmas movie. Annika, after this, I'll hop on over and join you because I love it. I imagine Christmas in Sweden is magical. You've got the snow, you've got the, just the Nordic scenery. I know isn't Sweden, but that's so Nordic vibes, and it was just magical. Everything was gingerbread, everything was loveliness, and it was just like you were in a fairy tale. It was absolutely stunning. So sending lots of Christmas love. Diana says, hello from Canada. You see, lots of Canadians. So I love some Canadian love. And I'm sending lots of love to anyone watching from Canada. Sari Bailey says, I love your channel. Hope you're having a fab weekend. I am. If the weather was a little bit better, things would be better. But I'm kind of getting organised this weekend. I've decided to do an upload schedule. I know, I'm so disorganised. I usually wake up in the morning and think, what exciting things can I talk about today? But I've decided, let's be a bit more planned, let's be a bit more rigid and structured, and work out some things that I want to do in terms of an upload schedule. So I'm planning, and we're trying to get on top of things. It'll all go to pot because I'm useless, but I'm trying to plan, and that's the main thing. Let's have a look. Clarice says, hi host, how are you? Oh, host. Feels like I'm on a game show when people say host. I'll take that. I'm fabulous. Thank you so much. Lynn Thompson, Pennsylvania, sending lots of love. Rochelle says, hey Rob, love from India. Oh, now, I'm assuming in India it's warmer than it is here in the UK, and actually should be daytime rather than night and grim and dark like it is here. So I'm sending lots of afternoon love to anyone over in India. Rabini says, hello, I'm so happy to be able to catch this week's live. I am so happy that you can join, my love. Thank you so much for joining. Jenny says, I'm in my pyjama bottoms too. Sending love to the pyjama bottom crowd. I don't think there's any shame. When it gets dark, you pull the curtains, you put your pyjamas on. No shame at all. I love my pyjamas. I am in full like slipper sock mode here. We've got pyjama bottoms on, and actually I always iron my pyjamas, and I always wear like a button-up shirt, style pyjamas. So I think, do you know what? It's almost formal wear. That's how I justify it to myself. Now, I'm going to have a sip of my tea while it's still hot. So if you haven't already, guys, if you could smash that like button, I would love you forever, and it really helps the channel. So thank you very much. That's a really good cup of tea. That's actually a really good cup of tea. As a total side note, I don't do dairy because I've been allergic to it for like forever. And most like dairy substitute milks in tea, ugh, awful, awful, awful. But Alpro have just done, which is like a brand, have just done like one that's suitable for hot drinks. And it's so much better. It, like literally makes tea fun again. So, you know, I'll just share that with anyone else that can't do dairy. Alpro, their new like Quirky Beauty says, I'm putting up my Christmas tree and lights are here early because of 2020. The tree is up. I'm gonna do an Instagram post, just share my tree. I love my Christmas tree. I have like a ritual every year. I put the tree up and I bore my partner senseless by telling them where every single bauble came from, when I bought it, the story behind it. It takes a whole day, but it's magical. So I'll take a picture and I'll show it on Instagram, and feel free underneath to tag your own Christmas trees, because I love Christmas trees. And I just think 2020, you're right, been a bit different, been a bit challenging. Let's put the tree up and bring on Christmas. Patty says, my husband teaches virtually at home, so wears his dress shirts with shorts, pajamas every day. No judgment. No, I saw like a series like of memes that people did, and they had like super dapper suits on, and then they had their outrageous pants on, and you know, like jogging bottoms and pajamas. I think it's the way forward. It's the Zoom generation. Like, why bother dressing? Like, trouser sales must have plummeted because we're all in our pajamas. Elizabeth Mann says, hello from Alaska. I'm very excited. I love Alaska. Wait. Oh, wait. I realised I said in India it must be afternoon. It won't be. It'll be nighttime. So in Alaska it must be afternoon. Time zones, not my thing. So sending lots of afternoon love to Alaska. I was due to go on a cruise to Alaska in some point this year, and that was canned, which is a shame. So I'm hoping to rebook it for next year and go to Alaska. We were going to look, I think it was Fairbanks we were going to, and then we had a day where we could explore. I realised it's way too big to do in a day, but I was hoping to see some amazing stuff. So hopefully that'll happen next year and I'll be able to go to Alaska. Joe Will says, hi, glad to be watching. I'm in my PJs too. Gotta be done. Sending love to the pajama crowd. Emma C says, never seen a live from you before. Well, Emma, I'm so glad you could join. Thank you so much for joining us. We love a good live stream, and you can ask any questions you want or just sit and chat. It's all good. Catalina says, dear Rob, I always look forward to your videos. Sending lots of love as always. Catalina, thank you so much. Sending lots of love to you. Thank you so much for your support. Let's have a look. Aisha says, do you think 15-year-old can use a 20% vitamin C serum? So I don't think there's any age profile on skincare. I do think when you have younger skin, generally speaking, it should be looked after a little bit differently to say some more older skin types. But yes, you could absolutely use a 20% vitamin C. It really depends on your skin type. If you have sensitive skin, I probably would go for something gentler. If you just match it to your skin type, I would actually start with a derivative, so a vitamin C derivative, which I did do a video on, which you can check out. And I just think it's gentler, it's less likely to cause irritation, and I think it's just easier to work into your routine. But whichever you use, yes, you can absolutely use a vitamin C. And if you want a really, I don't know where in the world you are, my love, but if you want a really good starter vitamin C, Boots Ingredients, which is the skincare, like the main drugstore here in the UK, theirs is super gentle, super effective, and a really good starter vitamin C that I fully recommend. And it's like £3. It's great. BT Essex UK says, how are you? I am fabulous, my love. Absolutely fabulous. Sending lots of love to Essex. Chelsea says, finally caught you here. Thank you so much, my love. And I'm so glad you're here. And question is, placenta in skincare. I have issues with this, and it's all down to the grimness factor for me. I'm a bit squeamish when it comes to like the addition of things that either human or animal or... I'm not a big fan. I just think it's the squeaminess, like it doesn't do it for me. I'm not entirely like anti-animal products in skincare, though I do try to cut them down, but human products, no. So placenta in skincare, it's a firm no. Wherever it comes from, no. It's just a no from me. Violet says, good morning, Helen the furry family. Oh my God, that's amazing. Kensington, Han Solo, and Ophelia Rabbit. That's like the amazing names. I love your names. Thank you so much. I love all things furry. I shared my cats in my video today who were looking super cute when I was filming it. So thank you so much for introducing your furry family, Celia. That's how I look. Rochelle, do retinoids work with dermal pigmentation over time? That's a really good question, and yes, they do. So retinoids will help with pigmentation over a period of time, though it does. I would usually say wait for around 3 to 6 months to really see those results. I think a lot of people give up on them because they don't see those results quickly. I would wait between 3 and 6 months to really see those results. But when they come through, it will look fantastic. Your skin will be glowing, on point. I would definitely recommend them. Emma says, show us the pup. I would love to, Emma. He's down there at the moment, and I would love to show you him, but he's finally settled, and he'll shake all over, and it'll be wetness and mud. But when he wakes up, I will show you him. Don't you worry. Using balm cleanser as your first and second cleanser. That's a really good question, Chelsea. And I'm not a huge fan of using a balm cleanser as a. There's no reason you can't, particularly if your second balm cleanser emulsifies, let me get my words out, really well. So something like the Square Lane cleanser by The Ordinary emulsifies and can work as a second cleanse. But really, I would say if you're going to double cleanse, definitely do a balm cleanser to start with and a gel cleanser for second. It just means you get the maximum benefit from it. But a really good question. Life of Mars, what do I personally use for mask acne, mask spots, and back blocked pores? I can't speak today. Well, I have Maskne going on a treat. So here in the UK, face masks are mandatory when you go shopping or into public spaces. I tend to break out here. What I've been using is my azelaic acid, which has really helped. The amount of difference since I started using it is like amazing. That just really helps battle some of that blockages and the acne causing bacteria. So that, I definitely get an azelaic acid in your life. I also have upped my salicylic acid game. I don't usually use salicylic acid every day. I find it quite drying to my skin, but I have been since I've been wearing a face mask, just on the areas I get the zits and the acne, and that's really helped. Those are like the two core ingredients. And I would always say, make sure you're not touching the area too much. So masks kind of work where what happens is it traps all the heat and the bacteria and things under the mask. So what I would say is when you take it off, don't touch it. If you just wipe the area over with a micellar water, that'll just really help keep everything like minimized and keep the amount of acne and flare-ups you get to a minimum. You don't need to, if you like, you don't need to reapply your skincare after you've wiped it off with an azelaic, with a micellar water. It's absolutely fine because you'll have already reaped the benefits of it in the morning. I just say every time you take it off, if you've worn it for a long period of time, just wipe around with a micellar water, and that'll really help. Now, I'm just gonna have a quick sip of my tea again. So if you haven't already, you know the drill. Click that like button. And let's get on with some other questions. Now, let's see what we've got. So Faith Markey says, hello from Canada. Thank you for your tips on skincare. It's a pleasure. And again, Canadian. I might as well just move to Canada. Move to Canada and sharing the love. So thank you very much, my love. Natalie says, hi, I wanted to ask about recommendations for products for adult acne, oily skin, please. I'm looking at La Roche-Posay, but I'm not sure. From Manchester, UK. Natalie, welcome, my love, and sending lots of love to Manchester. So adult acne, I would treat it exactly the same way as teen acne. I think we sometimes try to make a bigger differentiation than there are between the two. At the end of the day, it's acne, it's caused by the same things. There might be less of a hormonal component when you're in your adult life than in your teens, but broadly they're very similar. So what I would recommend to do for adult acne is a really good oil-free cleanser. So you can use an oil cleanser, it's absolutely fine, but I think oil-free if you're starting out. So something like gel cleanser, beautiful. Then I would definitely make sure you have the azelaic acid that we talked about. That is going to just make sure it fights any of the acne causing bacteria. So bacteria can sit on the skin and cause those breakouts and blockages. So that'll just deal with that element of it. Your salicylic acid will help declog the pores. So that'll stop any acne caused by blackheads and whiteheads. So that will help that. And overall, I just say make sure that your moisturizer isn't too occlusive or thick because you want your skin to be able to breathe through it. Those would be my top tips. If you really want to really focus down on it, I think using a facial massage technique to really get the grime and get your cleanser really into the skin will pay dividends in the long run. You might get a slight breakout at the start, but after a while, your skin will look radiant and gorgeous, and it'll really help declog all the pores. So those are my top tips. But great question. Violet says, have you done much looking into the Hanacure mask? It was a trend for a bit, but I haven't heard much on it recently. I haven't heard much on it recently. And actually, since I started this channel, it's not really been a thing, so I haven't actually done much research, but I can do. I always watch these videos back and make a note of everything I've promised. So I will promise to look into that and have a look and do a bit of a review on it. So watch this space, it's coming soon. Let's have a look. BT Essex says, you're looking well. Thank you. I'll take that. I was looking wet. Now I'm looking drier. But thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Michelle says, how do you apply your moisturizer on damp skin if you apply your Tretinoin on dry skin? So this is a really good question. If you apply your tretinoin, particularly on an evening, a lot of people say you should apply it on dry skin. I'm not actually that bothered for applying it on dry. The theory behind this is if you apply tretinoin or retinol products on wet and damp skin, the water actually helps it to absorb, so it goes in deeper, so you get more effective, you get a more efficacious treatment, which leads to more side effects and redness and peeling. So a lot of people say apply it on dry skin, particularly at the start, to minimize that. That does really make sense, but you don't have to apply it on dry skin. You can apply it to damp skin. I do. I'm used to retinol and tretinoin. I tend to just use it as part of one after the other after my serums, because my skin, I'm not worried about those side effects. I'm acclimatized to it, and then I put my moisturizer on top. I would not overthink it. I would literally just put your tretinoin on and then apply your moisturizer straight on top. Your skin will already be moist by the hydration that's in the tretinoin, whether it's gel or cream form. It's already going to be adding some element of hydration, and then you can put your at that point anyway. So that was my top tip. But a really good question. Celia Reid said, checked out Zach Malone, what a talent. I know, Celia, he is absolutely fantastic. I recommended him in my influencers video today. Such a nice guy, and genuinely just getting into skincare. And I think why I love that sort of perspective is I think we can get consumed if we are doing skincare all the time. You can kind of get a bit over involved in it. And sometimes it's nice to see someone who is literally trying out products genuinely for the first time and, you know, seeing what their initial reaction is, because that's kind of when I make a recommendation for a new product, what people are experiencing. So it's really, really great. I love his channel, and I would fully recommend people check it out if you haven't already. Michaela says, hello from Romania. I love your video. I thank you so much, my love. And I'm sending lots and lots of love. Chris says, can you apply sunscreen on damp skin? Oh, this is a really good question, Chris. So if you're applying a mineral sunscreen, I wouldn't apply it on damp skin. The reason is I find it just creates a bit of a barrier and the two don't mix that well. It does depend on the formulation, but generally speaking, I find you're more likely to get pilling and peeling if you apply it to damp skin. I think as a general rule, chemical sunscreens you can apply on dry, damp, it really doesn't matter. Mineral sunscreens, I think you should apply on drier skin rather than damp skin. It just helps them to apply better. But, you know, it is personal preference. There is nothing in the science to say it makes any difference in terms of the performance of the product, whether you apply it on dry or damp skin. So from that perspective, who cares? But I find that my chemical sunscreens work slightly better on a damper skin, maybe like serum damp. I don't mean drenched. I mean, like, you know, you put a sub-Q, plug for my favorite product, sub-Q serum on, and then add your moisturizer. That's absolutely fine. With mineral ones, I tend to just let my skin dry a little bit, let the product sink in, and then I put on to avoid that pilling and peeling. Hope that helps. But great question. Let's have a look. Daphne says, how do you know if a product is non-comedogenic, and is it something you should look out for? Congratulations on 17k. Daphne, thank you so much. And yeah, we cracked 17k this week, which is baffling because I feel like it was only like a week ago we were saying 15k. It's like mind-blowing. I had a dream. I'm sounding a bit Martin Luther. When I set up this channel, I really wanted to aim for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are 10 months in and we're at 17,000. I'm like, dreams shattered, which is fantastic, and goals shattered even. Dreams made, goals shattered, that's what it meant. And I can't believe it. Now, in terms of your question, comedogenic, I think the problem is it's quite a misleading claim. It's like one of those claims that you see on skincare where people put dermatologist approved. It doesn't really mean anything. Non-comedogenic, it doesn't, the reason it doesn't mean anything is you can have a product, an ingredient which is non-comedogenic, and yet you pair it with a number of ingredients and it becomes almost comedogenic. And so I think it's a bit of a misleading claim because it focuses on the individual ingredient acting on its own, not the overall formulation. And so how I would look at it is a lot of people say the ingredients never lie, look at the ingredients. And that's where I kind of disagree, because you don't want to look at each individual ingredient and pick it apart. You want to see how the ingredients come together in the overall formulation. And so a really good example is you can have something that's super comedogenic as an ingredient. Some like coconut oil derivatives can be very comedogenic, but if you pair it in a formulation with an alcohol, a denatured drying alcohol, it makes them less likely to clog the pores. So whilst you might not want either of those products in your life, it's just an example of actually a comedogenic product becomes less comedogenic when it's in a formulation. And so I tend not to get too het up on it. I would personally read reviews, and this is what I do before I introduce a product into my routine. There are definitely ingredients I avoid, coconut derivatives as an example, because I know they'll just break me out and clog my skin. But I don't worry too much about the non-comedogenic claims because I look and see what other people with a similar skin type to me have thought about that product and kind of take their word for it, because products act really differently in person than they would in a lab and in a theory-based environment. So that would be, I've gone around the houses a bit there, but you know what I'm saying. No, I don't think comedogenic and non-comedogenic claims are that great. Yiga says, hey from NYC. Hello, my love. Everything has to close by 10 p.m. Oh, yeah. I saw in New York things are maybe on a bit of a downward slope. But hopefully, the main thing is everyone stays safe and well and follows the rules. It really annoys me here in the UK when people don't follow the rules. I'm like, come on. It's not that hard. Like, in the grand scheme of things, wearing a mask, you know, limiting the amount of time you go out for like a month. It's not that hard. And everyone complained here in the UK when bars had to shut at 10 o'clock and everyone was outraged. Seriously, like, just go an hour earlier if you're that bothered. I just think there's bigger things to worry about in life than feeling like, you know, you hear people saying, is this an infringement on my liberties? Oh, get over yourself. Like, it's not ideal. Nobody wants to be in this situation, but I think we could all just give a little bit just to, you know, make everything a little bit better. That would be my theory. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. So hopefully everyone in New York is staying safe. Rochelle says, difference between fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamin C derivatives, and which is better? This is a great question, one I get asked a lot. When it comes to vitamin C derivatives, it makes no difference at all. So water-soluble, fine. Fat-soluble, absolutely fine. Vitamin C pure form, L-ascorbic acid, works better in fat-soluble because it's oxidized quicker in water. So I would say when it comes to derivative, use which the one you prefer. There is no difference in terms of the mechanism of action. For pure form vitamin C, you should look for a water-free version if you can. Tom said, did you try mixing the copper amino isolate serum with sub-Q skin the other night, and how did you find it? Tom, I loved it. I did. I tried it and thought, let's just give it a mix and see how it goes, because all of the ingredients are compatible, so why not? And I thought it combined 2 steps in my routine, great, and I just found it worked really well, sunk into my skin beautifully. I'm kind of really intrigued at how it performs over time, because the sub-Q has some great transporter peptides in it, which help other ingredients go deeper into the skin. So I'm quite intrigued of whether it'll actually up the performance of the copper amino isolate serum. But Tom, as always, a font of really good ideas, so thanks for giving me the idea. Did you try it and what did you think? Diana says, I have sagging skin near my mouth. What should help tighten these? Thank you as always. Great question, Diana. Tightness of the skin. This is something I get asked so much. There's a couple of things you can do. First of all, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, facial massage, because actually particularly around the jawline you need to massage because the nerves and how they work kind of go from here to here. So if you massage the jawline, this whole area will be improved. Things I would do is, if you do this scissoring motion up and down the jawline, both sides, maybe like 10 or 15 times, that will help any tension and alleviate any tension and tighten the skin here. If you do some dabbling motions here, that will just help with the lines here. You can also use an Azuraline solution, which will over time help with the fine lines and wrinkles in the area, which will make the sagging look less pronounced. But it all comes down to that facial massage. Some people invest so much money in things that have electrical current in them, which can help to tighten the skin. But I think, why bother spending the money if you haven't done the free stuff first, which is using your fingers and really massaging the skin? I have done some videos on facial massage, but do you know what? There's no rocket science or strict way of doing it. Do what feels good. The idea is you're playing with the skin, and that's going to help just to tighten up those muscles and nerves, which will make the skin look tauter. So that would be my recommendation. But check out some facial massage videos. But I reckon literally 10 minutes a day. Azuraline is an ingredient. Of course, look for copper peptides in products as well, because that will help create collagen and elastin in the skin, which over time will give you that firmness back. But a really good question. Emma C says, you're distracting me from my uni work, but I love it. Emma, get back to work now. Join me. It's fine. It's only an hour. Get a cup of tea, have a little break, and then get back to the uni work after. Speaking of which, I will just have a sip of my tea. So if you haven't already clicked that like button, make sure you do. I've been so busy today, I haven't actually drank much tea, and that is divine. So let's have a look. Tasha says, hey love, I finally bought azelaic acid. Keep up the good work. Tasha, I'm so glad you bought. I'm like the #1 promoter of azelaic acid. I think it's a fantastic ingredient, one of my go-tos. So I would really, promise me you'll try it. Give it a couple of weeks and then let me know what you think. Promise me you will let me know, because I love to know what you guys have experience of with products. Noah says, hi, how are you? I'm fantastic, my love. Thank you so much. Really like your channel. Wanted to ask, what do you think about the Dr. Bonner soap for the face? I saw Cassandra using it and wondered what's your opinion about it. I actually think it's fine. People get very het up on soaps, different types of soaps and all this. Actually, it's just a cleanser. I would always say the only people that shouldn't use that particular soap is the dry skinned, because I think it would be just too drying. But people like me, Cassandra, who has very oily skin, myself, I have super acne prone oily skin, it can actually be really good at eradicating some of the excess surface oil. So I'm not anti-soap in any way, and I think that's a really nice soap. But if you want to use, a lot of people reach for the Dove Sensitive Soap Bar, which it's fine. It's actually quite a nice hydrating soap. There is nothing wrong with it. Would I use it over some of the other cleansers? Probably not. I like some other cleansers better, but there's nothing wrong with soap, and it does work really well for people with oily skin. But if you've got dry or sensitive skin, it's a firm pass. Let's have a look. Victoria says, your thoughts about Bioderma? Victoria, quick and easy. One word answer, stunning. I love Bioderma. I love their original micellar water. Some of the newer micellar waters they bring out, not a fan of, but their micellar gel cleanser, great. Their micellar water, fantastic. I'm going to try some of their moisturizers and see what they're like, because I haven't tried them yet, but I'm very excited about that. But really great brand. I love them. Catalina says, hi again. Catalina, you are always welcome to ask a question, my love, as I ask away. Fermented, can't say the word, galactamites, essence purito before or after lactic acid. Really great question. Use it after the lactic acid. Bring the pH of the skin back up by using that essence. Beautiful product. Big fan of it, but I would definitely use it afterwards, because if you use it before, the lactic acid will, you need something. I just think it's great to sort of neutralize and buffer that lactic acid a little bit afterwards to raise the pH again after it's done its amazing work. But great question. Jacqueline says, Whisper is gorgeous. Whistler is gorgeous. I was thinking, Whisper, who's Whisper? Whistler is gorgeous. I went skiing there and I had one of the best skiing holidays of my life. The food, to be fair, forget the skiing. Who even wants to go skiing? The après-ski, oh, I'm all about the drinks, the food, the buffet. It was just stunning, and the views were gorgeous. My only drawback is I want to go time and time again, and it's a little bit on the pricey side. I checked the prices, but you get what you pay for, and it's a gorgeous place. So definitely recommend Whistler in Canada. Beautiful. KC says, yay, I caught a live. Thank you, my love. I'm so glad you can join. Thanks for answering questions about azelaic acid. It's been doing wonders for my rosacea. This preaches to me. Anyone with rosacea, azelaic acid is super important to have in your routine. It can transform your skin, take down that redness, any of the whiteheads that you get associated with the rosacea diminished. Just a great ingredient. I would start at 5% if you have rosacea and then work your way up, because like all ingredients, I don't think you want to throw them as top strength in all at once. So 5% and work your way up, but your skin will love it. So I'm so glad, Casey, that you're loving it. MSC says, I have really persistent acne for 9 years. I'm now 20. I've had lasers done, taken antibiotics, and done 2 rounds of Accutane. I'm currently on spironolactone, I can never say that word, and Tret for 10 months, and still very much have acne. I have an online appointment with my derm on Tuesday. What can I ask to try that might help? I would honestly, if it's persistent, I would look around and speak to them about some other alternatives to Accutane, because whilst that is like a holy grail, amazing, I would just see if there's any other technologies out there. There's so many great stuff you can do for acne, but if it's persistent and Accutane hasn't worked, there are other things they can do, but you really need to discuss it with your dermatologist. And all I always say when you speak to a dermatologist is tell them how you're feeling, because often we go in there and we say, oh, I've got acne. It's fine, but I'm a bit distressed by it. And actually tell them how you're feeling, because I regret when I had acne and saw my dermatologist, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine, it's acne, oh yeah, it gets me down a bit, but I'm fine. I'm like, actually, had I gone in and said, it's destroyed my self-confidence, for them to think, okay, maybe we need to skip some of the faffing and let's just get to the end result that we need. So I would just say be totally open and honest with how it makes you feel, because I regret when I was in my teens not being more open with my dermatologist about how it was affecting my self-esteem and my overall image of myself. And so definitely just be honest with them is what I'd say, and hopefully, let me know how it goes, but I'll have my fingers crossed that something will work for you, because I do know how difficult persistent acne is. And sometimes the thing that used to hurt me the most when I was, oh God, it's got very deep all of a sudden. But the thing that used to hurt me the most when I was in my teens is when people used to say, it's only skin. I'm like, yeah, it is. But when it's the first thing people see and you are insecure about it, it's way more than that. So I hear you, love, and I do hope you managed to get it sorted. But let me know how, what was recommended, and keep me updated. Paula says, where is Marcel? He is downstairs, I think. Now, he has decided how Marcel is my cat. He has decided to be a super energetic jerk in the last hour. He lazes around all day, he does nothing, and then I decide to sit down, do a live, bit of peace and quiet. He's charging up and down the stairs, he's menacing everything. He's a little terror, and he knows what he's doing. But he will be appearing. He makes a guest appearance in a video in 2 days' time, so you will be able to see that. He'll be demanding royalties from the ad revenue, I just know it. Christopher says, hey, hope you're doing well. I am Christopher, sending lots of love. I'm a teen and I just got prescribed a Tretinoin cream, a 0.25% Tretinoin cream with my dermatologist, and I was wondering how and when I should use it. Any tips? This is a really good question. This is my pet peeve with dermatologists, actually. They always give great, they give the right products, but often they don't tell you how to use it. And if here in the UK, you literally get 15 minutes with them, they diagnose you, they give you a prescription out, you go and you've got, I've got loads of questions. So my top tips for introducing Tretinoin into your routine are how I've used it for years. So I'll tell you how I made it work for me. First of all, go gentle. So hopefully the dermatologist told you how frequently to use it and to gradually ease your way into it. So use it sort of every third night and then go to every other night and then every night. And use the pea-size amount. So always we use more than we think we should. So pea-size amount is genuinely like a tiny amount. So if you just squeeze the tube, the first bit that comes out is the pea-sized amount. It feels like you're not using enough, but it spreads so thinly on the skin, and trust me, that is all you need. So don't overdo it because everybody does. And second thing is put it on dry skin at first. So a lot of people put it on damp skin. I would say apply the rest of your skincare. It seems weird to be waiting 10 minutes, but wait 10 minutes because then your skin will actually have dried and then put it on. Now, normally we don't recommend you do that, but the reason you should do that at first is because, again, that water and that dampness will help it transport into the skin, which means you're going to get more of a hit and more reaction at the start. And that'll just help you ease your way into it. Those would be my top tips. If you're really worried about starting it, you can always put your moisturizer on, wait 10 minutes, and then put your Tretinoin over the top of it. And that, again, I'll just buffer it so you don't get those really harsh results. Take it easy. Follow the instructions because nobody ever does. I never did and I regretted it, and you should have amazing skin. It'll take about 12 weeks to work, and just persevere with it. It's not instant. You might get a little breakout at the start, a little bit of purging, but trust me, it's worth it in the end, and I really hope it works for you, Christopher. But great question. Now, for those of you that heard that bang, firework night was like 2 weeks ago, but we're still setting off fireworks here in the UK. I'm over it, but we're still doing it. Let's have a look. MS says, what sunscreen would you use when using a retinol? Any sunscreen with an SPF of 50, I would go. Protection-wise, you need an SPF 50, and you need to look for the UVA and UVB factor. So UVB is that factor 50, UVA is the other type that ages you, that actually we don't take enough account of. So if you're looking at Korean skincare, it's the PA number. It should be plus, 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 so 4 pluses you're looking for. Here in the UK, if you turn the bottle overwards, it's got like stars on the back, and you're looking for 4 or 5 stars, and that's a UVA protection. So that would be my top tip. You've got loads of options. I love the Make Prem sunscreen, which is a Korean brand. Fantastic, great UVA-B and UVA protection. Gorgeous. I really like some of the drugstore ones you can get, as long as the protection is 50 and you've got a good UVA protection. Go for something cheap, because the last thing you want to do when you're on Tretinoin is to use it sparsely, because you spent a fortune on a SPF and you're using so little of it because you're worried about the cost. Buy something that's affordable that you can really put a good layer on because you want that protection. Those would be my top tips. But check out that Make Prem. Beautiful, beautiful Korean sunscreen. I've got it on the back shelf, top shelf there where my finger is. Yep, that's in that blue bottle. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's have a look. Adriana says, hello from Florida. Thank you for sharing your experience. It's a pleasure. Sending lots of love to Florida. DM30, I apologize for all this banging. It is like fireworks central out there. I don't know what they're doing. But hey, I'll have a cup of tea. While this goes, I'll have a sip of my tea. I am so lucky that none of my... We celebrate on the 5th of November, we celebrate Bonfire Night, where we set off fireworks. One night a year, I don't mind. You keep your dogs calm and keep them inside, and it's fine. 2 weeks later, we're still doing it. Let's have a look. DM13 says, I imagine all of us are under a very cozy blanket, drinking something warm and watching. Do you know what? If I wasn't here, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than with you guys, but I'd be having a pumpkin spiced something or other. I actually bought from Waitrose, which is like a supermarket here in the UK. I bought their own brand, like pumpkin spice blend. Stunning. Great. Drop that into some like almond milk in my case, or you use proper milk in anyone else's. Drop that in and just mix a bit of coffee or a bit of hot chocolate in. Oh, stunning. Absolutely love it. That's my like hot drink of the day. Hanan says, hi, I just found this channel recently and you already taught me so much. You're a lifesaver. Love from the Maldives. Oh, thank you so, so much, Hanan. I went to the Maldives and had the best holiday. Water villa, all inclusive, the hospitality, second to none, the people, amazing. The most beautiful snorkeling I have ever done in my life. I saw sharks. When they're coming towards you, they look huge, but it was a small shark. But I saw sharks, I saw rays, I sang with some manta rays, sea slugs, which was so amazing. I'd never seen them. I love the Maldives, such a beautiful country. Aquadita says, warm greetings from Estonia, sending lots of love to Estonia. Anastasia says, weather is getting colder and my skin started peeling more with tretinoin. How often, in your opinion, can I exfoliate? I'm fine using the glycolic acid toner. So you can exfoliate every single day, even when you're on tretinoin. Just make sure that you have established your tret routine first and then gradually introduce the exfoliator and up your game. You can, in theory, do it every single day. I think maybe what the problem is if you're using a glycolic acid, that can actually dry the skin out more, so make you peel more. I would switch to a 10% lactic acid and use that every day. You'll get the hydration and you'll get the really good exfoliation. It'll make such a difference. That would be my top recommendation. But any exfoliator will work. I just think lactic acid you can use more frequently because it is hydrating. That would be my recommendation. Priscilla says, hello from Dubai. I love your skincare advice. Priscilla, sending lots of love to Dubai and anybody else in the Middle East. Tom says, when will you do a collab with Adam? Tom, I'd love to do a collab with loads of people are on my list, but do you think we can do it in lockdown? It's such a shame because actually I'd love to be able to get out there and meet people and do some great collabs. I'd love to collab with Adam. He's fantastic and it'd be a great collab. I would love ultimate collab will be with James Welsh. He's actually in Hampshire, so he lives in Hampshire, which is where I live. So there's no excuse not to. I keep looking out. I keep thinking I'll see him in the high street. I don't actually know which part of Hampshire he lives in, so it could be miles away. But I think that, we're in the same county. There's no reason we couldn't collab. If he's watching, just a thought. That'd be my dream. Thomas says, we look forward to seeing and hearing from you on Sunday. Thank you so much, love. Can you recommend a mud clay mask regime? And when are you visiting us in Italy? I would visit Italy anytime. I love Italy. Venice. I died. I literally died. I thought it was amazing. It was that gorgeous. In terms of a mud and clay mask regime, I would recommend with mud and clay masks. They're really good if you have excess oil. I would look for two things. One, look for bentonite clay, which is my favorite of the clays. And I would also look for glycerin as an ingredient, because what glycerin does is it prevents the mask from being super drying. When you put it on and it turns like a crust and it zaps every last bit of moisture out of your skin. You don't want that. You want something to balance but not zap the moisture out. If you have glycerin, it just keeps it a little bit less cakey and will just help with the hydration levels. So that would be my top tip. And I would apply it every twice a week, every sort of 3 or 4 days, and that way you're going to get a super gradual balancing, but it won't be too drying for the skin. You absolutely can hydrate afterwards. I think a lot of people avoid adding the moisturizer afterwards, but that's really important because you need to replace you've taken the excess oils out and you need to replace it with something like a natural moisturizing factors by The Ordinary, or you can add any of your favorite balms or moisturizers, just something to keep the skin hydrated. What would be my favorite mask? I love a sulfur mask. That's if you can find a mask with sulfur and bentonite clay, that's my dream. I love any clay masks. I think because clay is so cheap, don't overpay. Don't go for something super bougie and luxury with a load of fragrance added in. You don't need it. Go and get a really cheap bentonite clay mask from the drugstore and use that, because clay is cheap and it will work wonders on your skin. But a great question, Thomas, and I'm sending lots and lots of love. Yiga says, looking for a nice hydrating toner and day cream for my super dry skin. Any recommendations? My current go-to hydrating toner is the hydrating toner from Geek and Gorgeous. I think it's just called Hydrate or something. Anyway, it's from a brand called Geek and Gorgeous, and I'm using that after I do my exfoliation. I add that because it just balances my skin and brings back the hydration. Love that product. In terms of, what was the other question you had? Day cream. I think if you're using the right products in your routine, so you're using a non-drying cleansing Sub-Q Skin by Hylamide, which is super hydrating, then actually you can get away with a light moisturizer, and something which I would go for is just a gel moisturizer, something nice and light, and that way you're not clogging the skin and weighing it down, but you're getting that hydration. Let me have a look. Oh, my favorite, what were my favorite lightweight moisturizer? I love the Blythe Pressed Serum. I love that brand. And their pressed serum is gorgeous. Sari Bailey says, can I mix azelaic acid, retinol, and a peptide? And if so, in what order? Thanks in advance. You can. First of all, you can. And I would fully recommend you add as azelaic acid if you're using retinol, because it helps offset some of the side effects. But first of all, get your retinol right. Get your retinol in your routine and make sure it's all good. Azelaic acid you should already have in there. If you haven't, add the azelaic acid a month before you add the retinol into your routine, and that way it'll offset some of the side effects. In terms of your peptide, you should put the peptide on first, then your azelaic acid, then your retinol. That would be the order I'd do it in. But really think about, if you haven't already got the retinol going, add your azelaic acid about a month before you start retinol, and that way your skin will be just protected and primed to avoid some of the harsher side effects from the retinol. But a really good question. Victoria says, should I use sunscreen indoors? So yes, officially yes. Yes, you should. That is the official rule. You should. I don't always wear sunscreen indoors. If I'm literally staying in the house and it's dark and it's winter and I'm not going near a window and sitting in the sunlight at the window, I don't put a sunscreen on. You should. I think a bit of natural vitamin D is fine for my skin, and I don't want to weigh it down with a sunscreen. If you are going out at all, yes, you should put a sunscreen on. And if you're sitting near a window, so say that you're working away on your laptop and it's next to a window, absolutely put that sunscreen on. If you're not, then I think you can miss it. But the official rules is you should. So stick to the official rules, but I don't always. Southern Belle says UK rocks. I agree. The UK is amazing. We are fabulous here, but also I'm sending a lot of love internationally. Adam Robert Lamb says, hey girl, just on a little dinner break and work and seen the shout out. Thank you so much. Adam, you are a star, and I would love, oh my God, I would love to collab anytime. Adam, reach out to me and I am collabing with you whenever you ask. I'm a huge fan. And thanks for supporting the channel. You are such a star. Southern Belle says, coming from California. Southern Belle, thank you so much. Mehir says, hey, can you suggest me a heavy moisturizer for the winter? I have sensitive skin. Yes. So you've got a couple of options. I love the La Roche-Posay. My top tip has always been, take your bog standard moisturizer, your summer moisturizer, and add 2 drops of a really hydrating facial oil, and that will transform your lightweight moisturizer into a heavy duty winter moisturizer. You don't need to buy new products, and it will work so well to hydrate, soften, and just give you that gorgeous glowing dewy skin in winter. So I would say stick with what you're using and just add some facial oil to it. Transform in an instant. M. Biller says, by the way, is the Inculus Retinol still your favourite retinol? Ooh, so yes, I still love it. I personally don't use the Inculus Retinol every day because it's a mid-strength retinol, and I've been using it for so long, I use a high-strength retinol. I'm using adapalene, which is prescription here in the UK. So I would say for anybody who's new to retinol, game changer. Anybody that wants sensitive or dry skin, fantastic, the go-to best. I would say if you have oily skin, you might want to use something a little bit stronger, or what I tend to use the Inculus Retinol for is those days where I don't use my adapalene. If I feel my skin is really dry, I will stop the adapalene and I use the Inculus Retinol for a couple of days and then start back up. So yeah, it's still my go-to. It's still my favorite, one of my favorite retinols, but there are other ones out there if you want slightly stronger. It's my favorite mid to low strength retinol. Let's have a look. Bridget says, tranexamic acid so good for discoloration. Amen to that, Bridget. Love tranexamic acid. Fantastic. Ivandra says, hi, what do you think about our unique Centella Calming Gel Cream? Oh, it's in the bathroom. I don't know why I'm looking for it here. Might be on the shelf behind you. Might see it. Love it. Literally love it. I found it so calming, soothing. You can keep it in the fridge for that extra level of calming and soothing. I love it. Centella I love as an ingredient, but I particularly love the iUnique one. I buy it from Style Venner here in the UK, and it's so cheap. It's like something like £9, say. It just helps balance everything and hydrate. But yeah, beautiful product. Orange J, hey, welcome Orange. Do you have any recommendations for lip balms with SPF? Now, this is going to be a bit controversial. I'm not a huge fan of lip balms with SPF. They're not bad, and you should put the SPF on your lips. But I find just taking your normal SPF onto the lip is fine, and then topping it off with the lip balm, that would be my preference, because I think the problem I have with lip balm SPFs is always SPF 15. Why do you use 30 on the face and then 15 on the lip? It kind of doesn't make sense. So I would use your normal moisture. is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Lèvres. There's a bit of French language, a little bit of French pronunciation, so bad. That's really good and it's so hydrating and fantastic. If you do want to go for one with an inbuilt SPF, then I would check out my two favourite that they do is La Roche-Posay Do one. I think it's SPF 30, which is fine. That's a really good one. I love the what's it called, Pisbuin Do one, which is an SPF 30, which I really like, and that's got cocoa butter and shea butter in there, so it smells divine as well. That one I really like. But I would say think about whether you need one with an SPF in, or you can just use normal SPF. That would be my Skinners. This is top tier. If you're using the Skinners SPF, which I love that product so much. That is a beautiful hydrating like balm consistency, great for the lip. Actually, just like great for the lip. I wouldn't. It's expensive to just buy for the lip, but if you've got one in there, that would make a great lip balm and SPF in one. That would be a top tip. And I'm gonna have a quick sip of my tea. So if you haven't already, guys, if you could smash that like button, I would love you forever. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already and you're just lurking. That's fine. Lurk away, but subscribe while you're here. You don't want to miss out on anything. Now, let's carry on and see about some other questions. Oh no, I'm still really behind. Oh well, never mind. Sunny Bell says, you look fab. Thank you. I'm here for the compliments. Georgia says, best simple moisturizer for acne prone skin. Really good question. The Blythe Pressed Serum, which I think is on the back shelf. Oh, you probably can't see it. Middle shelf. Wait there. Can I get my finger there? Oh, there. Blythe Pressed Serum Crystal Ice Plant. It is beautiful. The Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel is really good as well, but it's not cruelty free, whereas the Blythe one is, which is why I prefer that, and they're similar price point. That has done wonders for my skin all the way through summer. It doesn't clog the skin, it hydrates, it calms, it soothes. If you've got any redness associated with your acne, gone in an instant. Absolutely stunning. Couldn't recommend that more. Let's have a look. Cinderella says, yay, Christmas, love it too. Same here. Love me some Christmas. Teresa Adams says, what is a good product to use for those, what's that? Oh, those fine lines on the lips. I'm loving the Ordinary's azelaic acid and the Inculus retinol. And for my forehead and eyes, thank you for the Azura line. The Azura line solution is my favourite. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneaky tip and a little bit of a line. These lines around the lips is something some people get, some people don't get them. Azura line, this area between lip and nose never gets any love. I don't know what this is called actually. That Cupid's bow never gets any love, and I don't know why. So definitely take all your products here because it's skin like the rest of your face. My top tip: I have been trying the Neod Bio Lipid lip product. Now, I had never tried it because I kind of it helps smooth out the fine lines, plump the lips, but naturally, not give you that like plump the lips. And I didn't choose it because it adds a bit of redness and colour to the lips, and I was like, oh, I don't think that looks great on a guy. It's not really my vibe, so I didn't try it. Then the sale came and I was like, look, I'm going to buy one and try it. I'm doing a full review of it in a week's time, but a top tip, it is stunning, literally stunning for the lip. I have been really impressed with how it's not plumped in that fake way, but my skin just around the lips feels hydrated, nourished, a little bit poutier, which is always nice, and it has given a really nice natural flush to the lips. I am actually really impressed with the product. I am going to keep using it for a little bit longer, and I would like to know from some people that have tried it that have those lines if it's helped, because obviously I don't have those lines, so I can't really comment, but I think it would work really well, and I think that'd be a really great solution. But start with the Azura line, taking all the products on that area, and then I would check that biolipid concentrate out from jojoba oil through though counterintuitive, works real to moisturize the skin around the spot. That's true. If you have a zit, we always want to dry the zit out, and I think I get the hit. I've got one here, I don't know why I touched it. Never touch zits, that was my top tip. But we always want to dry them out, and then they go crusty, and you can't conceal them because they're really crusty, and like, have you ever tried to conceal that it's like a volcano? Grim. And also, actually, if you dry it out, it takes longer to heal. So I would recommend jojoba oil as a really good, or rose hip seed oil or chia seed oil. Really good. Keep the area hydrated because it will heal better, less likely to leave a mark. So that's a really great comment. Any advice for shaving your face with minimal irritation? Yes, hot shower. So actually, no, you shouldn't be doing hot shower, steamy shower, that's what I mean. So make sure you got a lot of steam and warmth to the skin, because the warmer the skin is, the pores are going to be, the follicles are going to be open, and it's just going to be easy, and this hair is going to be softened. So a lot of men do it over the sink. I would do it after the shower, get out, and I would have a look properly and think, never shave in the shower, because you can't actually see what you're doing. And so I see people like doing this, I'm thinking, no. Do it in front of a mirror out of the shower. As long as you do it within the first 3 minutes of leaving the shower, the skin will still use any old rubbish. Avoid things that have menthol in. People love it because it's cooling, but that irritates the skin. So avoid menthol and choose something that's super calming and lovely for the skin. If you can't actually find a really nice shaving cream you like, conditioner for the hair is really good. Never contains menthol and is super slippy and great. And you should then have some really nice, smooth shave. Just avoid doing it in the shower. Make sure the skin is damp and nicely warmed so that hair is softened, and you should find a really good shave. Jacqueline says, I have a simple use to the People Super Berry Dream Mask, and I also wanted to love it. How do you convince my skin to love it as much as I love it? Sometimes, Jacqueline, I hate to break it to you, sometimes we do just have to let go of those products we really want to love. I've tried so hard to love products in the past, and if my skin doesn't love it, in the bin. And that's really hard to say because I've spent so much money on some products and wanted to love it. If your skin doesn't love it, and this goes for anything I recommend on this channel. I know some people like, if it's recommended by somebody that you like or enjoy the content of, you're determined to like the product. It doesn't work for everyone's skin, and I think, Jacqueline, you might just have to let it go. And I'm sorry, gift it. This is my top tip, gift it to someone, and you don't feel bad about throwing it, and someone else's skin will love it. And there you go. And they'll love you because you've gifted something you really like. Georgia says, can I do micellar water and then a basic face wash as a double cleanse? Yes. This is really, a lot of people forget this. You can absolutely use a micellar water as your first step in your cleanse. It's like a makeup remover, and then put a gel cleanser on afterwards. Works beautifully well. So that's a great tip. Eric ASL says, hi Rob, I use the ordinary 1% retinol plus 30% every day. And it worked well. I prefer the 23% vitamin C, but always out of stock. That's a really good point. I think the 30%, so they do a 30% and a 23%, one in silicone, and the other thing is in squalane. Really good. Either of them. I prefer the 30% myself. I think the silicone one is a bit slippy and a bit doesn't really work with my skin type. But that's a really good question. Powboo says, can I use the ordinary EUK 134 and Alpha Arbutin together? You can. They work beautifully well together. They're totally compatible, and yes, definitely work well together. Elizabeth Smith, hello my love. Thank you so much for joining. And sorry, I've only just seen your comment. Like, I'm so behind with these comments, but thank you so much for joining, my love. Sunbell says, sexy glasses. Now, these would be sexy if it wasn't the fact they're broken here. Because everything's shut in the UK, I can't get new glasses. And so if you see that I'm not wearing, you want to get them fixed. Well, actually, I just want to buy a new pair, but everywhere's closed here in the UK. So after lockdown, new glasses. Marina says, hey Rob, you look great. Big hug from London. Marina, thank you. And sending lots of love to London. Amanda says, help for purging from Retinol. I have oily skin, love from Dublin. Unfortunately, once you've started Retinol, so my top tip will be don't stop. Once you've started, the purge happens and you're like, I'm going to stop. It's purging. It's looking worse. I'm stopping. Do not stop. Because if you stop, you'll never get used to it. My top tip is ride the purge. It's happened. You're using it, so you can't really go back and do some things to prevent it. Just ride the purge. Top tip, keep it hydrated because it'll heal better if you're hydrated. Use something like an alpha arbutin serum. That'll prevent and minimize the amount of discoloration you'll get after the purge, so it'll just help it to heal properly. And definitely use a salicylic acid that'll just draw out some of that purge and hopefully help the heal time diminish. But don't, whatever you do, stop the tretinoin. People stop because it gets worse. You're in there, you're committed, my love, keep going through it with my recommendation. Reve says, greetings from Madrid. Hello to everyone living in Spain. Jonathan says, hey mate, thanks for the recommendations on the Indeed Labs retinol. First ever retinol, and it's amazing, even on my sensitive skin. Thank you, Jonathan. I love it when you guys tell me that you love the products that you're trying. I love the Indeed Labs retinol. It's one of my favorite. That and the Inculist are like my favorite holy grail retinols for people that are new to retinol. It shouldn't be scary. It shouldn't be terrifying. If you can use it on sensitive skin, everybody can benefit from it. So those would be my top 2 recommendations for people new to retinol. Let's have a look. Jessica says, how do we get used to the People products in the UK? I have never done a full use to the People review because I just can't get hold of the products. So I'm the wrong person to ask. You can sometimes find them online, but I did hear that they're going to be launching a store, an e-commerce store in the UK in April. But I struggle as well, my love. So I'm so sorry I can't be more help. Teresa says, do you use retinol and tretinoin? Hope that's spelled right. I'm thinking of starting tretinoin. Don't use the two together. Tretinoin is fantastic. You gradually introduce it to your routine. You don't like use it every single night. Use it like every third night and then increase it to every other, then every night. And on the off nights, you can absolutely use a retinol because it's a lower strength. Retinol is a lower strength tretinoin version of tretinoin. So yeah, you can absolutely use the two, but just not on the same night together. Otherwise, your skin will hate you and scream. And if you've ever applied it and it feels like gritty and it's like they've mixed together and they're coming off the skin. Peeling is when the skin is peeling off. So peeling is what happens to the skin. Peeling is when two products don't agree together and they kind of stop it. They create that grittiness on the skin. Not great. Nicola says hello from Wales. Hello from Wales. I worked for a time in Cardiff. I love the Welsh. I love the accent. Like the Welsh accent to me is like honey. I love listening to the Welsh accent. Let's have a look. Emaran says, what do you think of the Dove Beauty Cream Bar Soap for skin? I mentioned this earlier. I actually don't mind it at all. Do I think it's the best cleanser out there? No. These people on TikTok that are like, this is all you need in your skincare. This works dream. It's fine. It's quite a moisturising soap. If you want to use soap, it's a good option. I just think there are better products out there, personally, but it's certainly not bad. It's not too drying, it's quite hydrating, so I would use it as a hand soap quite happily. But for the face, I just think there's better cleansers out there, but there's nothing wrong with the product. Now, we are kind of over the time, but I'm going to keep going because I'm enjoying myself, and hopefully you guys are. I'm going to have a quick sip because my throat's getting dry, so if you haven't already, if you could hit the like button, that'd be fantastic. And let's continue because I'm way behind with these comments. Let's have a look. Chelsea says, will using an exfoliated toner on damp skin or using an essence on top of an exfoliating toner, will it negate the exfoliation? No, not really. It will water it down slightly, but not in a meaningful way. So you're absolutely fine to use exfoliators on damp skin, and you can use toners, essences straight after. It's absolutely fine. Yiga said salicylic acid and azelaic acid different, and which one is better for spot treatment on dry skin? They are totally different. One's an AHA and one's a BHA. So salicylic acid goes into the pores, binds to the oil, and brings out all the excess oil, the dirt, and the debris. Azelaic acid isn't an exfoliating acid, which salicylic acid is, and it just calms redness and soothes the skin. It will also help eradicate some of the bacteria on the skin which can cause acne. You can use them both together. So use a salicylic acid as a treatment on areas where you have clogged skin, and then use a salicylic acid and azelaic acid all over the face. Perfect routine. Right, let's have a look at what we've got. Marina says, Rob, what do you think of facial steamers? Thoughts on this? One, I think they're too expensive when you can just put your head over a bowl of hot water. Kind of does the same thing. And I do think sometimes they can be a bit aggravating and a bit reddening for the skin. So if you want to do if you feel congested, get a bowl of water, put a towel over your head, but make sure you're a good, oh, you can't really see that. All you need is to have a light steam touching the skin, which will hydrate, it will minimize bacteria, and it will also open the pores. So afterwards, make sure you moisturize, with my only recommendation. I just don't think you need to buy steamers for this. I think a bowl with some water over it, just breathe in that steam. It's great if you breathe it in as well, because actually it's really helped to decongest. It's a great thing. I do it all the time, but I just don't think you need to buy a steamer. Bridget says, congrats for your 17,000. Thank you, Bridget. You're too kind. Nicola says, what are your views on the number 7 retinol serum? I actually did a video ages ago about that, and I love it. It's a really good, I think some of the marketing's a bit misleading because the strength isn't strictly true on there. They're a little bit like a mid-strength retinol. Yeah, definitely. I like it. And if you can get it when it's on offer, it's always on offer, like buy one, get one free, or buy one, get one half price or whatever. Definitely do it because I think it's a great product. Let's have a look. Oh, so Sunbell says, I wonder about Boots serums as well. What's the best serum for dry skin? Well, my favourite is Sub-Q Skin by Hylamide, which is a great serum. If you're looking to go for the Boots, their hyaluronic acid is actually really good. A couple of drops of that in your moisturiser just helps take it up a notch. It is absolutely fantastic. So those are my 2 recommendations. Let's have a look. Gigi Royale. Hello, Gigi. Welcome, my love. Great to see you. Have you tried the Exa Glow from Face Theory? Your thoughts? It is sold out everywhere. I have been desperate to try this product. It looks gorgeous. The ingredients, stunning. I want to get my hands on it. And as soon as it's in stock, I will, and I'll do a review of it, my love. But I haven't tried it because it's just not in stock. It's that and a couple of other products from Face Theory I haven't been able to get hold of. But fingers crossed, because I love the brand, so I know it's going to be good. I know from the ingredients and the brand it's going to be good, but I haven't actually tried it yet. Monica says, I love your channel. Monica, my love, sending lots of love to you. Let's have a look. Casey says, face masks are a great SPF. That's how I look at it. True. You might be breaking out because you're wearing your face mask. It might be a little bit irritating. It steams your glasses up, which is a nightmare. But a lot of Koreans do wear it because it keeps the sun from this section of the face. You wear a hat on it, and then it's like great for protecting the skin against the harmful rays of the sun and damage from burning. So yes, look at face masks as a good SPF rather than something that we all have to put up with. The dog has finally woken up. That's what that shaking was all about. And he's still wet. And Patty says, thank you, Rob, for encouraging people to wear masks. I'm in a very high risk group and I appreciate everyone who does. This is what I say with face masks. We need to look at the bigger picture. Like, by wearing a face mask, you're not protecting yourself. Though I do think somewhere I read some scientific studies that it does have a marginal protection factor for you, but you're protecting yourself if you've got something that you don't know you have from spreading it to somebody else that's in a high risk group. So I think we should all just be a little bit less selfish, put the mask on and get on with our lives. It's like a small like token, you know, I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world. Let's just get on with it and use a mask. And also, that would be the dog yawning. Thank you. Are you done? No, he says not. He's probably going to yawn again. If anyone wonders what that really disconcerting noise was, it's the dog. So yeah, let's just get our face masks on. Wear them as like a bit of a badge of honour. You're helping protect people. It's not that big a hardship, and let's just crack on. I always think, like, this is how I look at it. And then my rant's over. But if a nurse or a doctor can wear it for 14 hours a day, caring for us in a hospital, I really think we can slap one on for 20 minutes to go to the shops. Not the end of the world. That's my take on masks, anyway. Chelsea says, you're so sweet. Thank you for answering our questions and being so polite. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you for asking the questions. I love to hear from you guys, and I do really appreciate it. Dog, are you going to come and say hi? Are you going to... Right there. Come and say hi. Oh. For those of you that wanted to see a puppy, this would be our Sterling. Are you going to say hi? Are you going to say hi? You just look really worried. Oh, look at your eyes. Oh, dear. Oh, the smell. So Sterling is a Keukenhonder, which is a Dutch Spaniel for anyone that's Dutch, and he smells really bad of wet dog. Go on. Go down. Oh, there you go. Now lie down. He's desperate for attention now. Let's have a look. Sunbell says, I overthink serums and dry skin to combo. What is the best? I think any serum with hyaluronic acid will help with dry skin, and I would definitely look for something with like a vitamin C and to incorporate in the serum form is absolutely fantastic. Annika says, can I use the Dermalogica microfoliant every day? Annika, great question. You can. Just be super gentle with it. Use lots of water, because I see people using it dry and I'm like, that must be so abrasive. Use plenty of water, massage it into the skin. You can use it every single day. And actually it's really great if you want an enzyme-based physical exfoliant. It's one of the best ones out there. I normally hate scrubs, but that is the one I would probably say is fine to use. Let's have a look. Sophia says, hello from the US. Hello, my love. I love your videos. What do you recommend to help acne purge from salicylic acid? I would say, again, azelaic acid. It pairs beautifully well with salicylic acid, and it will just help minimize the purge, and it will also make the purge look less worse because it'll take down some inflammation, redness and irritation, so it just improves the look of. Have a look. L Jack says, hello, have you ever tried an LED light mask? If so, are there any skincare products you can't use before or after? Really great question. So I haven't used one, and the reason I haven't is I haven't found one that's really tempted me. I think I like to have light therapy done, but I have it done at the dermatologist's office because it's more intense. It's in a more controlled environment. It is expensive though, so I know not everyone can use it. So I haven't tried one. In terms of what products you shouldn't use, the ones at home are of a wavelength, frequency and intensity that aren't going to do too much damage to your skin, so you can absolutely use any product with it. The only thing I'd be a bit careful with is peptides. Use it afterwards, not before, because I think it could denature the peptides. So use it after you've done your light therapy, add your serums, and you're good to go. Right, let's have a look. Mark says, are eye creams rubbish? Generally, Mark, yes, they are. There are some exceptions. The fractionated eye contour concentrate from Neod, amazing. And caffeine solution by The Ordinary, fantastic. The Inculist retinol eye serum, great. There are some exceptions, but generally it's just expensive, overpriced moisturizer. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of eye creams, but there are some exceptions. Right, now guys, we are way over time, so I am going to draw to a close because the dog wants me to throw his ball. You know, God forbid I should have 5 minutes to myself, dog. But you know, so I am going to draw things to a close. I would just like to say thank you so much for every single one of you for joining the live. I love all your questions. I've been so behind with the questions. I'm looking now and I'm like halfway through them. I'm so sorry guys. So if I didn't answer your question, leave me a comment in the box below straight after this video and I will get onto it straight away. If you haven't hit that like button, please do, because it really helps the channel. Once this video is over, so once I finish recording, it's up for like 5 minutes where you can add your comments, and then it goes down for the evening, and then is uploading it again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning UK time, so you'll be able to watch any bits you missed then. If you leave me a comment straight after this video with any of the comments that I missed, I'll get onto answering them straight away tomorrow morning. So wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and whatever you're having for dinner tonight, enjoy it. Sending lots of love. Take care. Bye.